Howdy again, y'alls. I'm back this time. Give you a little overview and some extra insights into our first discussion for this week: context at home interview results. So, since what is it, week two? You've had time to conduct your interview. I stress that you are required to have that in consent form, right, prior to actually doing the interview. It's all legal issues, right? Um, but granted, you have done all that, right? And if you haven't, get on it. um, this discussion, you are going to share your results. You're going to share your experience. You're going to share the answers to your specific questions, right, that have been outlined. And those particular questions are, let me see here, what the geological, environmental, and weather conditions are in your area, your state, and how these conditions affect the preservation of archaeological sites. Okay. Now, depending if you spoke to an archaeologist or a geologist, they might have different perspectives on that. Interesting. That would, might want to point that out. You're also to identify what natural and cultural agencies are of greatest concern in your area. What's what culturally, archaeologically speaking, are the greatest concerns, right? Is there something being threatened, impacted, destroyed, things like that? So yeah, you're going to want to share that. Are they building a housing development over some amazing prehistoric site or something? Right? Those are kind of like the natural and cultural. Maybe a site's been submerged. Maybe they created a reservoir, right? So now it's under 30 feet of water. Well, there's a good natural and cultural impact. So yeah, so your initial post, right? You're going to report the results of your interview. What I'd suggest is to have the specific questions you asked, right, and then the responses. Now, you can directly quote what those were. Some people might have used a tape recorder or taken notes, right? Definitely good strategies. And just outline it, right? A really good post would probably identify when and where and with whom they spoke, ID the specific questions and responses to them. All right. Of course, cite the stuff. All right. It's pretty similar to our standard, citing any particular text, right? You just instead of naming the book, you're going to say personal interview with X, right? Whoever the person is, their name. Yeah, and feel free to also share on the personal experience of this assignment. Don't mix that with the question responses, though. Keep that separate. You might start with that or put it at the end. But those are nice things to include. Your personal reflection of the experience. You might have taken extra time to ask them about like their personal research. How did they get to where they are? Yeah, share that. Now, of course, initial posts are due by the end of Thursday, and your response post times two. You're gonna kind of compare your experience and what you found out, which of course is relative to your particular area, with that of two of your fellow classmates. And then you don't stop there. Let me be clear. You then continue to try to, figure out why they may be similar or different. Okay, some things that you might want to consider there are like the general geography, sorry, I'm stumbling over my words, topography, as well as geographic location, the geology of the area, the climate, major weather patterns, things like that will impact sites. Okay, it's a very natural process, and you also want to consider what people do. Okay, how is what sort of differences are you seeing between your example, your experience, right, and that of another classmates? And of course, two of those. That will be a pretty solid analysis. Oh, and of course, sorry, forgot to mention. Forgot to say, be sure to identify whether or not you spoke with a geologist or archaeologist, both in your initial post and in your response post, right? Because that's going to be a key thing to compare right there. Because you probably, if a geologist is going to have a different perspective about certain things than an archaeologist, and vice versa. So that's an easy one to do. Yeah, of course, cite everything, proof your work, and of course, if you have any questions, any concerns, anything at all, just let me know. Call me, email me, text me. Yeah, I'm here for you. So that's where I'll leave this, and I hope my translation of the overly verbose prompt helps. Y'all take care. See you in the discussion boards.